Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be drafting a basic bodice. So these are the measurements required. Make sure your fabric or your pattern paper is folded into 2 equal parts, leaving your zip allowance of 1.5 inches at the back. Then you are going to take your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then you are going to come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slant, and you're going to slant it to meet your neckline. Take your round armhole measurement and divide it by 2. Mine is 8 inches. Connect into a straight line. Find the middle point, that is 8 inches divided by 2. So I'm going to mark my 4 inches and I'm going to come in by 1/4 inch. This is for my front armhole, and I'm going to curve it. First of all, I will extend my chest line because that's where my armhole is going to be sitting. So I'm going to slant from the 1/4 inch that I came out with, and this is going to be for my front armhole. And for my back armhole, I'm just going to curve to meet the middle point. So I'll start by taking my vertical measurement. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10.5. So I'm going to take my 10.5 and I'm going to make it into a straight line. From my shoulder to my waistline is 15 inches. I'm also going to take that and I'll make it into a straight line. From my waist to my hip is 8 inches. I'm also going to insert it and make that into a straight line. That's my chest line, my bust line, my waistline, and my hip line. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement. From one of my nipple to the other one is 7 inches. I'm going to divide it by 2 and I'm going to place it on my bust line, on my waistline, and on my hip line. and then I'm going to make it into a straight line. On the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and on the waistline I'm going to take 1/4 inch on both sides. So I'm going to connect to meet the 1 inch. On the hip line, I'm going to come up by 2 inch. And I'll connect from there to meet the waistline. So I'm going to start inserting my horizontal measurements. My bust divided by 4 is 10 inches. I'm going to take that on my chest line and on my bust line. My waist divided by 4 is 7 inches. Remember, we took 1 inch for our dart, so I'm going to replace that 1 inch on the waistline. And on my hip line, my hip divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I'm going to connect the lines. So for the side dart, I'm going to measure from my chest line to my waistline. Whatever I get, I'm going to divide it into 2. I'm going to place it. From that point, I'm going to slant it to meet my bust point. I'm going to take 1/4 inch on both sides. And I'll slant it to meet the bust point. For the neckline, I'm going to take my neck width. I'm going to take 3 inches for both the front and the back. And for the depth, I'm going to take 3 inches for the front and 1.5 inches for the back. So if you don't have a ruler, you can use your free hand to do this. So I'm going to cut the back neckline and the back armhole. I'm going to cut that out first because my back pattern is also pinned with my front pattern, so I'm going to cut that out first before I can trim out my front neckline and my front armhole. So before I do that, I'm going to open up my zip allowance of 1.5 inches, and I'm also going to trace out all my vertical lines. That's my hip line, my waistline, my bust line, and my chest line. I'm going to trace that out, and I'm also going to rule a straight line on my zip allowance. So I've removed my back panel from my front panel, so I'm going to go ahead to trim out my neckline and my armhole. After doing that, I'm going to rule out all my lines. You see that this is easy because I've already traced it out with the front panel. So I'm going to rule all the lines out. So I'm also going to take my nipple to nipple just like we did for the front panel, but this time we're going to start from our chest line because the dart is going to come up a bit since this is the back panel. So I'm going to roll it into a straight line, and I'm going to come down by 1/4 inch. You know, we came down by 1 inch for the front panel, but we're going to come down by 1/4 inch from the chest line, and on the waistline we're going to take 1.5 inch on both sides, and we're going to connect it just like we did for the front panel. And on the hip line we're going to come up by 2 inches, and we're also going to connect it to meet the waistline. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave it for me down below in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.